Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Free Webinar Series by Holistic Hounds. My name is Morgan Fitzgerald, and I'm a holistic dog groomer and animal Reiki practitioner, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and currently located in Central Oregon. Today we're going to be talking all about animal communication. So let me share my presentation with you, and we'll get started. Okay, here we go. Animal communication. What is animal communication? Animals communicate in many different ways, and this includes visual, auditory, chemical, touch, and nonverbal communications. Included in these nonverbal communications is telepathy. Telepathy is the universal language that we all share. Animal communication is possible using these intuitive channels. We are all born with the innate ability to communicate in this way. And animals and people communicate telepathically by sending images, sensations, emotions, or thoughts. And the reason why we're able to communicate on this level is because we're all spiritual beings. So the human world has become increasingly more unnatural. And once we developed spoken language, we stopped using our innate ability of telepathy as much. So we're being called not only from the animals, but from spirit as well to utilize these higher ways of communicating using telepathy. Can anyone learn animal communication? There is a misconception that you have to be a mystic or that you have to be to learn animal communication, but that's not true because we all have the innate ability to communicate in this way. We are all capable of relearning. And so it's not really learning, but it's relearning because this is something that we have utilized and that we do still utilize. We all have the ability to relearn interspecies communication, which is another word for animal communication. Animals are teachers, healers, and guides. So when we open up the channels of higher communication with our companion animals and all of the animal world, we open up ourselves to infinite knowledge and wisdom that these creatures can bestow upon us. And it's up to us to listen to their messages and to hear what they have to say. And from my perspective, being an amateur animal communicator, the animals are calling to us to relearn this ability, to hone in our intuitive abilities, and to listen to what they're saying. So it's important to remember that animals have so much to offer us by communicating in this higher way once we determine that it's possible and necessary. Animals can be our teachers, they can be our healers and our guides, and it's up to us to allow them to shine by communicating with them in a higher way. So I wanted to just do a brief introductory to how someone at home can start practicing animal communication right away. You don't need to take a class. You don't need to become a certified professional animal communicator in order to do this. And with these 4 simple steps, you'll be well on your way to opening up these higher channels of communication. The first step is to get into a calm and meditative state. And to do this, you should probably turn off all your technology, including your cell phone. Cell phones can be a really big distraction and can take us away from our intuitive abilities and our telepathic communication with animals and other humans. So remove all other distractions from your environment. Find a quiet and peaceful space, and that can be in your home, it can be outside. Choose a space where you can be alone and where you can be left alone to have this time to yourself. So number 2 would be focus on your breath. A lot of us forget to breathe. And I know that sounds silly, but we get so caught up in our day-to-day that we're not always consciously breathing. And so for me personally, sometimes when I'm stressed or when I'm anxious, I realize that I'm holding my breath. And so getting into this calm and meditative state means being present with ourselves and being present with our breath. So just start by focusing on your breath, feeling the in breath and the out breath. So you want to connect to your heart center and become more conscious of each breath. Let distracting thoughts go out of your mind. In the way that we live, us humans, it's a very hectic and fast-paced world. So very often, it just to open up this intuitive channel of communication, we just need to let distracting thoughts go, let our mind become clear, and become a clear channel for communication. So step number 3, open up the channel of higher communication. And you can do this by calling upon your spirit guides and angels for assistance to ensure that the communication is for the highest good. And this is a very important step because it's essential for us to be grounded and to make sure that we are receiving accurate information. And the way to ensure that we're receiving accurate communication is by calling upon spirit guides and angels for assistance and making sure that the communication is for the highest good of all. So number 4 would be say hello, ask a question, or simply enjoy the connection. So when you're first connecting to your animal in this way, you can start by simply saying hello and see if you get a response. But when you're first connecting, it's not always about feeling the response, but it's more about opening up this channel of communication with you and your animal. So you can also do this with wildlife as well. If you wanted to sit outside and try to speak with a bird, that's something that is totally feasible. Or you can do this with your companion animal. They do not need to be in the same room as you when you're doing the communication because energy works beyond space and time. So you can do it while your animal's in another room. You don't have to be in direct physical contact with the animal. So bask in the interconnectedness between you and your animal because this is a really empowering feeling and healing space to be within, especially when you're offering this space to your animal in a calm and loving way. It really opens up the door to infinite possibilities of deepening your relationship with your animal, clarifying some things that might be not clear, asking your animal certain questions, what they prefer. These types of things can be life-changing for you and for your animal. So these are just 4 basic steps to connect. And starting with these 4 basic steps at home and do it regularly, the more you do it, the better you'll get. And then eventually you can start to send an image. Animals respond very well to being sent images because they communicate through pictures and imagery a lot. So working on your own skills of visualization is a good way of doing that. If you need to get, if you're trying to envision, let's just say, for example, a red ball. And if you need to get a photo of a red ball or have a red ball physically theirs to help you visualize them, that's a great way to start honing in your visualization skills to send images. But starting with just a simple hello and sitting in that connective energy is a great start. So always end every communication session with a thank you. Saying thank you at the end of animal communication sessions are important in order to establish mutual trust. Plus, it's just good manners. By saying thank you and by having this mutual respect and trust, the animal will be more likely to continue to communicate with you in this way. So there are professional animal communicators, and professional animal communicators have honed their skills of telepathic interspecies communication in order to assist others in communicating with their pets. So if you're not feeling confident about this connection, or you're feeling like you need some additional support, you can contact a professional animal communicator. Animal communicators can assist with a number of different problems that you and your pet might be facing. And I'm just going to list some of the things that a professional animal communicator can help you with. So they can help you with conflict resolution. If there's an issue that's coming up with your animal and you're stumped as to what the reasoning is, then calling upon a professional animal communicator could bring you some insights. So answering questions, if there's just a random question that you have about your animal, an animal communicator can help you do that. End of life care is a really big one for animal communication. A lot of times people contact a professional animal communicator when their animal's in end of life to speak with them to see what they need, to see what treatment plans they might prefer, and also for bucket list requests. And that's a really fun one because you can kind of communicate with your animal on a higher level to find out what it is they want to do before their last day here. So that's a really good way of helping your animal enjoy the last time that they have on Earth. Animal communicators can help with lost pets. Specific medical intuitives can help with medical issues with animals. Animal communicators can give you insights on behavior, personality, past lives, preferences, etc. So sometimes animal communicators will be called in for behavior problems when a behaviorist or a positive reinforcement training hasn't delivered the results that they're looking for. By communicating on this higher level, you can get more insights than you might otherwise. So for behavior problems, professional animal communicators can be a great help. And another thing that animal communicators can do is assist you with connecting to your pet. So, for example, if you're trying to connect with your animal on an intuitive level, but you're not sure if the information you're getting is actually coming from your animal or if it's coming from you, then the professional animal communicator can assist you with honing this ability to communicate in a higher way with your pet. And these are just some of the things that a professional animal communicator can help with, but there are a lot of others. So just some resources for those of you who might be wanting to learn a little bit more without committing to taking a course. The first book that I would recommend is by Penelope Smith. Penelope Smith was one of the first big animal communicators in the United States, and she was very much beyond her time. She's still alive, so she's still here. She's still, I believe, doing animal communication professionally. And this book is actually pretty old, and it's from, I want to say, the late 80s. But the information in this book is revolutionary because she's just beyond her time with everything that she says in this book. So Animal Talk was one of the first animal communication books that I read, and it was life-changing for me. So that's the number one that I would recommend for anyone. And there is, a tiny bit of the information that's a little bit outdated, but I would say about 95% of it is still relevant and accurate, and it's a really, really good read. So definitely Animal Talk by Penelope Smith. The second one I would recommend is The Confident Animal Communicator, and that's by Dr. Kara Gubbins. Dr. Kara Gubbins is a professional animal communicator, and she also hosts an annual summit for animal communicators and healers. And it's a really amazing summit for an amateur professional or an amateur animal communicator who just wants to communicate with their animals at home, or for somebody that wants to take it as a professional career and learn how to do it in a larger capacity. So Dr. Kara Gubbins is a really good source for learning animal communication. The annual summit is amazing. And then she also has an Animal Communicator Academy for those that are wanting to learn professional animal communication. And so the last book that I would recommend for those of you wanting to learn more about animal communication is specifically about dolphin communication, and it's called Inner Dolphin Awakening, and it's by Jan Lemire. It is a really amazing read. It's a little out there, so it is a little bit, the guy goes into his healing journey. So it's not just about animal communication, but this book specifically is about a healing journey, and it's about kind of what is termed coming out of the spiritual closet. So Inner Dolphin Awakening, I would highly recommend to anyone who wants to learn about animal communication from a dolphin perspective, because this guy, he studied, he went and studied dolphins in different places around the world, and he got to swim with them and have direct telepathic communications that he writes about in his book. So all of these books are amazing resources to start out with. They're very affordable, and it's just a great place for someone to start that's wanting to learn a little bit more. So stay tuned for Holistic Hounds book all about animal communication, which I am currently in the process of editing and finishing. So coming to you guys in November of 2024, this book is going to be revolutionary. It is a lot different than a lot of the other animal communication books out there. I haven't released the title or the cover yet, but I will do so soon. So be sure to check back on my Facebook page at The Holistic Hounds on Facebook for updates. Be the first to purchase, and it's going to be in the form of an ebook, and it will be affordable for those of you that might be concerned about cost. So that's something super exciting. It's going to be combining a little bit of scientific, it's a little bit scientific in regards to how telepathy works on a scientific level. And so that could be really interesting for those of you that kind of want to see how all of this is actually physically possible, because it's very interesting to see what it breaks down to be. And also, I wanted to offer some free animal communication sessions to those of you that might be interested. And so if you would like to schedule a free animal communication session, please visit www.holistichounds.dog, and that's holistic with a W, or you can email me at theholistichounds@gmail.com. And this is a limited time offer. This offer will end by the end of July. So if you're wanting a free animal communication session, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to get that scheduled for you, and we can delve into the higher realm of what your animal is wishing to communicate with you. Okay, we covered a lot of information, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I appreciate everyone who took the time to tune in today, and stay tuned for our next webinar, which is all about end-of-life care. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day. See you next time.